For all the sad words of tongue and pen, the saddest of these, it might have been. I don't know if you've heard that little couplet before by John Greenwith Whittier, but what a sad statement. We found some, for leadership, some headstones that we wanted to show you. This one is a headstone that said, if I had only dreamed bigger. I'd hate to have that on my headstone, or not on my headstone, but to feel that at the end of my life, that, oh man, if I'd only have dreamed bigger, or if I had only realized that I actually could dream bigger. Sometimes we don't even realize that it's that we can, that it's possible, and we can live in regret. The end of our lives, the end of an opportunity, the change of, the seasons of our life. That if only I'd realized something. Well, as heritage makers, we dream big. That's what Dream Team's all about. It will unlock your dream machine. We then use our business to accomplish our dreams. Sometimes we dream big in life and we don't really know how to achieve it, but those self-affirmations, if you say it long enough and long enough and long enough, eventually it will happen. Well, that's true, because eventually you'll figure out how to make it happen. With Heritage Makers, we encourage you to use your business because it's a tool that you can use right now to help move you towards your dreams, to accomplish your dreams. In direct selling or party plan, we accomplish our dreams by helping others accomplish their dreams. It's a sharing business, and it's really partnership. We call that sponsoring. Now, there's a lot to know about your Heritage Makers business. When you signed up new, you may have felt like this. You may feel like that right now, depending on how your business is going and what's in there. But there's workshops and host coaching and publishing, and there's phone calls and fairs and all that kind of stuff. However, another quote, this is by Joe Schroeder. He's an expert in the direct selling industry. He says, you don't have to get it perfect. You just have to get it started. If you had a frank discussion with many of the leaders who are at Leaders Conference and said, how did you get started? Did you spend hours and hours? A lot of those leaders, if you talk to them and asked, how much did you know? My guess is the majority would say, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just excited. I knew my why. I had confidence that Heritage Makers, the people I've signed up with, the leaders of the company, the mission, the values, all that was going to get me there, and I just started. And because they started, they learned as they went, and they became leaders. A good way to understand how the business works is to understand how you get paid. So if you have a dream, you're going to use your business to accomplish those dreams. Generally, your dreams will quantify down to some sort of earnings amount over time. Now, some of us will be interested in just mission and making projects, but if you want to do this extended, if you want it to change your lifestyle, usually we quantify that in how you get paid. So it's important to understand that. Let's just do a quick review. At Heritage Makers, we pay a first-level commission that's of 20% on average of every dollar sold. We also pay other level commissions and bonuses, and that equals about 20% as well. That's the other levels and director and executive bonuses that are available. Finally, there's the team building bonus. There's about 6% that goes into that. The pie chart, it looks like that. So the question is, where should you spend your time as a new or a current Heritage Makers consultant? 20% commission up here, that's what we often refer to it as our quick money. Should I spend all my time working on doing workshops and selling, getting my club count as big as I can so I get those 20% commissions? I can get those every single month, That's a great place to start. It's a great portion of your check. But it looks like there's more of the pie that's available to you. The key is, what do you want? If you want everything Heritage Makers has to offer, particularly its ability to be a tool to accomplish your dreams, and if your dreams are big enough, then what you need is a balance. You need to balance each part of your business. You need a little bit of everything to get everything that Heritage Makers can do for you. So I'm going to take just a few minutes and talk about and give you some ideas of how the business works, and then how you can work your business and have it accomplish those dreams. Very first of all, I'd encourage you, if you don't know why you're in Heritage Makers, if you haven't established your why, what it is that you want your business to do for you, and then looked at it and said, is that big enough? Because I'm here to tell you, your business can be as big as you choose to make it, and it can accomplish big things. its main limit is the scope of your vision. If you can't see it accomplishing big things, it probably won't do it for you. But we have a good host of leaders who have accomplished big things with their business because they have that vision. Second, after you've got that vision, is start looking at how you achieve that. How do you start getting the income that can help you get that dream? Well, let's look at clubs and first-level commissions. And to do this, I'm going to pop up a spreadsheet. It's in an Excel document. And we're going to post this in the virtual office for leaders and all consultants to use, and hopefully use in your teams a little bit. So this is how first-level commissions work. If you look at the first-level commissions, you have your club sign-up rate here. Here is how many I sign up per month in year 1, and this would be how many I sign up per month in year 2. Then I can show my average first sale and renewing sales. This is the averages for the company. And then this is a drop-off rate of how often those people drop off. And the average for the company is about 6.5%. And then it shows whether I'm sponsoring anyone here each month, and there's a club growth rate here. So you can see here, if I sign up one person a month for 1 year and then 2 and on, you can see that my club line here is going to grow up to somewhere around just over 10 clubs. And then it'll plateau. By this point, I'll be signing up one a month and losing one a month. The key is, if you're wanting to look at a way to get to early money and to start accomplishing your dreams, clubs are where it's at. It's holding workshops. You can see underneath this chart that you can get a commission. Your first month commission isn't going to be very much because you haven't hit the $100 minimum. Then at 12 months, you're going to get $36. On the 12th month, on the 24th month, $40. And then you can see it kind of plateaus out. On the 36th month, you're making the same amount for signing up one person a month on club. You can see the total year's earnings for the first 12 months, 200, 480, and 486. So let's play around and get a vision of what it is that your clubs can do for you. And more specifically, when you sign up someone to be a consultant and someone says, I really need to pay off credit card debt. I really want to get a new car or make payments on a new car. I want to work towards getting out of my house. I need a part-time income to replace my part-time work. Club can be a great way to help those consultants. It's the most simple way to get paid. Sign up club members and get paid not only that month, but renewing months. So let's say 5 a month. On average, that would be 1 to 2 workshops or 1 workshop and some extra orders, potentially. If we do 5 the first year, and we just keep doing 5, look at how that changes. Now, the line looks the same, but look at how many clubs we've jumped up to. We're now achieving 50 clubs if we have the drop-off rate of 6.5%. That's the average for the company. That means your first month you're getting $32, but by the end of the first year, that 12th month, you're earning $363 a month. We've paid you $2,700, almost $2,800 that first year. That almost doubles the second year, and then you can see it plateaus just by consistently holding 5 clubs a month. That's a workshop and maybe an outside order or 2. That's pretty powerful, you know. $400 a month is enough to help pay off credit card debt. It's enough to have a little stash. It's enough to pay for music lessons. There's a lot that can be done with that amount of money. Now, what if we're not happy there? What if we want to earn more than that? Well, we know one option is to do the 5 and 1. At 5 and 1, you get an extra 5%. Instead of 20%, you're getting 25%. So let's say we're going to sponsor someone every month. By sponsoring someone every month, you can see that this has increased quite a bit from, what was it, almost $2,000 some odd dollars to almost $3,500 here. Your income here went up to $500 at the plateau, $6,000 a month. Now, you can hear Patty and I talk all the time. We don't really promote 5 and 1. We encourage people to do that if they're needing to spend a lot of time on their team once they're a diamond or something like that. But generally, most of us want to build a business that's going to reward us more than just what this is showing here. So what happens if we do what the company suggests, that 10 clubs a month? So we'll take out sponsoring first of all, and let's just throw in 10 clubs a month. At 10 clubs a month, you know, same line, it'll plateau eventually. At 100, though, so your President's Club, Elite, plateaus at 100 clubs a month. Now, 100 clubs a month A lot of those are renewing every month. Your first month, $130, so almost pay off your kit from that. Then we have, by the 12th month, you're earning $700 a month. $5,000 the first 12 months. Then if you're consistent, the next 12 months, earning potential of $9,000, almost $10,000, and $800 a month. That's just from doing clubs consistently. Now, how much time does it take to do 10 clubs a month? On average, it's about 3 workshops. 3 workshops, if you do 1 every week, that's going to be somewhere around 4 hours a week of time to get that kind of an income. Now, what if we did a sponsoring rate of 1? That increases it a little bit to get to 25%, but if we go all the way up to the 2 and get the full 30%, you can see by the end of the first month or first year, you're earning $1,000 a month. Second year, you're earning a little bit more than that, up to almost $15,000 a year, just off of clubs. And you can play around with this. We'll post this in virtual office if you want to play around and do some case scenarios. For example, what if I did 15 a month my first year, and then I dropped down to 10? Well, you can see you're going to get up to 140 almost. Then it'll drop down to 80 as you start losing clubs, and then it'll plateau and then grow a little bit after that. But you can see what happens to your income there. So the answer to the question here of what is it Heritage Makers has to offer, what can I get on first level commissions, you know, it's really up to you. It depends on how consistently you are building your club, and then remember that that club consistency brings you ongoing commissions that get paid again and again and again and again. And this makes some really great part-time or supplemental income. Okay. Now, for you being on this call here in the middle of the day, and that's going just a little bit long, you may have bigger dreams than what you can get from a first-level commission. That was the case for everyone at Leaders Conference. So what can I do if my dreams are bigger than that? Well, this guy here, Dave Ramsey, says if you expect to earn significant money larger than what we were just looking at, larger than $1,000 to $2,000 a month, direct selling, you must understand that it's a recruiting and a training business. It's about sponsoring. We talked a little bit about that. The magic word is duplication. You know, instead of being a door-to-door salesman that just gets paid every time I sell something, if I build a team and help to motivate and inspire them and get a small portion off of what they do because I'm a real leader to them and they value me, you know, what a great business. And that's where there is no plateau. Dr. Forrest Shackley said, success in this business is not in finding the right person, it's becoming the right person. We think that's true. You become the example or the template for other people to follow. The key is, one, to become that person, and training, attending things like Dream Team will help you to become that person, and then offering the business to others. As you offer it and they see what it's done in your life, they'll want it in their life. So if this is a sponsoring business, why do we sell to clients? We talked through that. It's early money. It's one of the best places for potential new consultants is your happy clients. If you see a client publishing a lot, my goodness, they probably caught the vision of the mission of Heritage Makers. Maybe it's a great opportunity to talk to them about the opportunity. So if I want more for my business, I need a sponsor team, right? How much should I sponsor? Let's take a look at one other model that's on this spreadsheet, and I think this will really be helpful in you understanding what is the possibilities in your business. So if you download this spreadsheet, you'll see here a club model. Now on this, you can only change these highlighted darker cells. Everything else is locked down so you don't accidentally break it on your machine and wonder what it's showing you. Now this is what we call the Heritage Makers forecasted earnings. It's like that last one, but it's got a lot more information in it. Let's just start here. Instead of showing how many clubs you have, it shows how much earnings you can get. So we talked about 10 clubs a month. You can see that same kind of plateau line, but instead of showing clubs here, it's showing how much money you can receive. So at 10, we're about $800 a month. You can see here, that same kind of data here. You're not getting anything off of bonuses or team building. It's just off of that. Now, if I start sponsoring someone, that's where it starts to get a little bit fun to get an idea. Now, Dave Ramsey talked about how if you want significant income in direct selling, then it's a recruiting and training business. It's to get people excited about the mission and get them out there sharing it with others. Is that true? Well, let's see. Let's go back to 5 and 1 here. So there's 5, and now instead of doing nothing in team building, I'm going to start sponsoring one person a month. When I sponsor one person a month, you'll see that this chart changes quite a bit. Now, there's some things that it assumes here. First of all, right down here, it assumes that out of all the people you sponsor, 1 out of 3 is going to become an active consultant. That means they'll have $100 of monthly volume. Now, this assumes that never changes. Our experience is that actually grows over time, so it kind of downplays the possibilities there. Next, it explains that 1 out of 5 star consultants, or 1 out of 5 new consultants becomes a star consultant, and that they do $500 of sales every month. Now, again, they start off there, but they don't end there, so again, it's downplayed. 1 out of 10 becomes a 2-star, and 1 out of 20 becomes a future leader. Now, are these the real numbers? You know, it really just depends on your organization, on what you are doing in your business. If you're really excited about sponsoring, you're bringing people in, and you're excited about helping them get up and going, focusing them on fast starts, stuff like that, these could definitely be your numbers. If you're not particularly strong in that, then your numbers may be a little bit off this. But these are great numbers to kind of focus on to get an idea of sponsoring and how to get your business going. This also assumes that each new star consultant you sign up, each new 2-star, each new team builder or future leader, that's your go-getters who are so excited about their business, they're going to become director super fast. They're doing the 10 and 2 kind of a thing. It assumes that your stars are sponsoring 33%. That's 1 every 3 months. This is they're sponsoring. Your 2-stars are sponsoring 1 every other month, and your go-getters are sponsoring, let's say, 1 every month here. So with all those things taken into account, and then it also takes into account that new people you sponsor, half of them leave after a year, so that's all built into this model, this formula. What could my earnings be if I consistently bring in clubs, consistently sponsor, and I'm working on them to be active? There's a certain number that are active and star and build and all that. Well, here on the right, the blue represents my commission. So you can see right from the get-go, my commissions is where I get the bulk of my money. But you can see it doesn't take too long when I'm consistently sponsoring and working on team building or activity that soon it changes. Now, this is a 3-year window. So on number 12 here, that's the end of the first year, mostly of what I'm getting that's my commission. A little bit from my team, but it's mostly commission. Then, as I get into the second year, it's starting to get to where my bonuses are equaling my commission almost, and certainly by the third year, it really takes an increase. You can see what that does here on the earnings. So on earnings, I'm getting $3,000, $6,000, $6,000 for my years earning the first 3 years, but then when I add in my other earnings here, it increases that to $4,000 the first month with my total earnings, $9,000 with the second year, sorry, not first year, second year, up to $17,000. So you can get an idea of how this business can grow, what it can do. Now, what happens if I do that 10 and 2? Let's first look at the 10. You can see 10 is going to increase my commissions up to, with one new consultant, almost $1,000 a month. That happens my first year. You can see that's the bulk of my income if that's what I'm focusing on. And then one new consultant a month, and having them be active and follow what I'm doing here, you can see what it does here. Now, this green portion is your team building bonus. So you can see here they're getting $100 team building. At this point, they're getting $500 in team building. And then these are all the other bonuses that they get. So that grows. You can see your total income here, monthly income, getting up to $2,000 a month. So I'm doing 10, I'm doing 1. Now, why is it that Heritage Maker says 10 and 2? Is there something magic about sponsoring 2 new people? Why can't I just do 1? Or why can't I just do 1 every other month? The answer is you're welcome to do 1 every other month, but you can't get the other benefits from team building without team building. And the slower you team build, the longer it takes to get there. Case in point, let's do half a person. That's 1 person every other month. Now, it looks bigger, but the reality is that's your $1,000 level. It's mostly, this adjusts based off of how much is being paid. That's your commission. It's just $1,000. You're not getting much from your team at 1 every other month. Now, why is that? Well, think about it. 1 every other month, after a year, you have 6 new consultants. If 1 out of 5 of those are being a star, there's just not a lot of volume being created by your consultants. And you don't even have a 2-star or a future builder by the numbers. You just haven't sponsored enough to find those people who want it. Now, you're going to find people as you sponsor who are active, and that's all they really want in their business. They're in it for the discount. They're in it just to share on the side. They don't really have a big why or big dream, and they're wonderful. They create volume in your business. You're going to find star consultants who do a little bit, and then they kind of cool off. Maybe some things in their life changes, and they can't really build like they were planning to. But again, they create volume, and they get paid off of that volume ongoing as it renews with Club. And you get paid off of that volume as well. So don't think of each new person that you sponsor. If 4 of them didn't become star, they create some good volume for you. They're a good thing. So we talked about 1. You saw what changed with 1. You start within 3 years saying, oh, hey, my business can grow. In the 4th and 5th year, is it really going to do some fun things there? What about that number 2? If we do 10 and 2, look what happens suddenly to your business. Now this scale has magically changed. $1,000 starts here, and we're up to almost $7,000 here at the end. Now this is monthly volume, so you can see my first year still is mostly from my clubs, my personal selling, but because I've been consistent all this time, it starts to work. My team starts to build, and they start to build, and suddenly, not long here in my 2nd year, I'm earning as much from my team building as I'm getting from my personal commissions. And then look here by the end of the 2nd year, and into my 3rd year, it's a lot more from my team building than it is from my personal business. Quite a bit more. Look here, your totals here. $14,000 on month 24, or for the 2nd year, you're getting this much each month here. Your total year's earnings, half of it. $14,000 here, $30,000, the difference, $15,000 coming from your team. Look, you're up to $60,000 by the end of the 3rd year that you're getting, and the majority of that coming from your team and team building. So people are wondering, how can I replace the full-time income? How can I get a business that really can make a difference in the lives of my consultants, in the life of my family? This is the way you do it. The key is sponsoring. You can see there is no plateau here. It just grows. What would the 4th and 5th year look here? We looked at some of our leaders and saw how they built their business, and they really caught the vision. We all know Wendy McGee, our Diamond executive. So I looked at her first year in Heritage Maker. She did something more like this. She understood the power of sponsoring, and she signed up on average 4 people a month. At 4 people a month, and then let's say the 2nd year she dropped down, which she did, about 2 a month after that. For the 2nd year, she got almost 50 people signed up in the business. Now, why in the world, how did she do that? I can tell you she did workshops. She'd tell you the same thing. We saw a picture of her planner, and there was like tons of workshop booked in a week and in a month. And then she was excited about the business. She invited everyone. She signed up probably more consultants than she signed up clients. She was so excited about the business, and she caught the vision of what this could do for her. But more importantly, how many of her friends, family, people she didn't know needed an answer, needed a way to fund their dreams, to get them from their dream to living their dream. And she saw that Heritage Makers was the tool that could do it. Look what it did. And now, just like you, the first few months of her income, it was commissions, just like you. But within her first year, she was earning more off of her bonuses than she was off her commission. It's simply because she had a big enough team to earn it. And you can see what that team building bonus did. She earns, as someone builds with the team building bonus, you bring in enough consultants to where that can be magical for you. Look at what happens here. You get that $1,500 to $2,000 up to $3,000. It really makes a difference. And then the bulk of your income comes off of building a team. That's the power of Heritage Makers. By the end of the 3rd year, $100,000. Actually, what we failed to mention here, if you're doing a team builder, if you're getting someone in and you're doing 2 a month, let's assume that someone who's a team builder, someone who's just a go-getter, who's doing what you're doing, is doing 2 a month. That's really what we started to see from her as she sponsored Hallie, and she sponsored Amy, and she sponsored a host of others that we don't know because they didn't increase in rank, they stayed active. But those people who did more sponsoring. They caught the vision too. And she started to see income that was around this. So you can see some pretty exciting things that are happening based off of what you do with your team building and sponsoring. And we could spend hours and hours just playing around with this. My goal is to get it to you so that you can play around with it. You can really catch the vision of what your business can do. Now, if your vision is just to get a supplemental income, if it's the blue, that's wonderful. We just spent some time on 5 clubs a month can get you a supplemental income. 10 clubs a month can get you there. However, if you are needing something that's more exciting in your life to help take care of your family, to help change a lifestyle, or just to get some benefit off of something you absolutely love anyway, I would encourage you to take another look at sponsoring. Take another look of your mindset of what the business really can do for people. We have tons of leaders who are earning good money, and that money's just increasing every single month as club naturally increases. You could be a part of that. It's exciting. It's amazing. But it's important that you understand you have the dream, the vision of it. So if you sponsor one person every 3 months or one person every other month, I'd encourage you to say, what would my business look like if I did 1 or 2 or 3 a month? How would I find those people? Do they exist? One at every party. How could I introduce the business where I am so excited that I just attract people? People have the need. It's tapping into the answer, helping them see that my business is the answer for their need. As you do what other leaders have done in getting a correct vision of what this business can truly do for you, but then help others to catch that vision as well, you'll start to experience what the business was built for. At the end of this flyer that we'll post up for you, we have my why. You can type in what your why is, and then you can do some scenarios of what it is that you want to do each month in clubs, sponsoring, and new stars, and what that earnings can be. You can print it off and have it as a goal reminder for you in accomplishing your business. The last thing that we'll print up is we'll do some kind of case scenarios here that'll just be PDFs that you can print off from the average person doing 5 clubs or 10 clubs or sponsoring someone. You can use that with your teams, help them get a vision of what their Heritage Makers business can really do for them. So we're going to post this, like I said, in your Heritage Makers. These are incredible tools. If you're not familiar with Excel, what I'd encourage you to do is contact your upline director and say, let's do a call on this. Let's do a training on this and have her work through it with you. It's important to get that vision. The opportunity of Heritage Makers is incredible. There's nothing else out there like it. And I don't want to be at the end of the Heritage Makers Road, which I hope never ends. Hopefully that's the end of my life for me, to look back and say, if I only had dreamed bigger, if I'd only caught the vision of what Heritage Makers could do. That's what the ground floor opportunity that you always hear from people is, oh my goodness, if I only had known then what I know now, I would have gotten in on the ground floor. Well, Heritage Makers is there, the ground floor. And we have an incredible business model that can get you there if you just follow it and do what you need to do there.
It is a great time to be with Heritage Makers. As Brytt said, we are really on the ground floor. We're only, we're 7 years old, and we have a system that is good. And as he said, we're the only ones that have it. To have a party plan company that has something like Club that offers the great benefits to our clients as well as to our consultants, we have something special. So let's build something this summer and celebrate as we come together and build something beautiful at Reunion. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day.